Hey, Mr. Landley, Fred here. How are you this evening? Great, glad to hear it. Hey, believe it or not, I already have an offer for you. Yeah, it's a pretty good one, too. $175,000 with 20% down. Yeah. The only problem is she wants to close as soon as possible. Something about her kids. Yeah, I know it's $25,000 less than your price, but I'm pretty sure she'll come up if you make a counteroffer. She's a transferee. She just got a big raise. Plus, she needs to move quickly. Yeah, I know the closing could be a problem because your new construction won't be ready, but you could probably drag the closing out by a month or so. These things never close on time. I tell you what, let's counter at $185,000. What's that? Advise her that you can't close for 3 months? Yeah, I wouldn't do that if I were you. It would probably be a deal breaker. Better to just drag the closing date out after you've signed contracts. Miss Rose, I have a response from the seller. He wasn't thrilled with your starting bid, but I assured him that you were very interested and you had to move quickly. No, I didn't disclose anything that would be a disadvantage to you. Trust me. His counter is $185,000. I know that may be a bit more than you like to spend, but I think this property is a very good value, and the seller's willing to meet your quick closing date. Yeah? What if you counter at $180,000, split the baby in half, as they say? Oh, you never liked that saying. Sorry about that. Will you at least think about it? Great. What's that? What about Cottonwood? Oh, yes. Well, I made a phone call to the listing agent, but he hasn't even gotten back to me yet. Well, of course, I'll follow up. I'll let you know as soon as I hear something. I can't believe she still has an interest in Cottonwood. Well, I won't be following up on that one anytime soon. Poplar is perfect for her, whether she knows it or not. Miss Rose, goodness, I'm so glad I finally reached you. I've left several messages.
I've been quite busy, Fred. Trying to arrange for the move and transitioning to a new job can be a challenge.
Well, I understand, but I really need your answer on the house on Poplar. I now have several offers on the property, but I'm trying to hold it open for you.
You don't have to worry about that, Fred. I'm in the process of signing contracts on the house on Cottonwood.
Cottonwood? But I showed you that property. How can you do that to me?
Fred, I'm not doing anything to you. You had no interest in selling me Cottonwood, and you know it.
But how did this happen?
Quite frankly, after our last conversation, I didn't trust your motivation. You as a buyer-broker seemed more intent on doing anything to sell me Poplar. I asked a new co-worker of mine if he could recommend any agents, and he suggested someone named Patty Petunia. After talking with Patty for some time about what I was looking for and what my expectations were, I signed an exclusive buyer representation agreement with her. What's interesting, Fred, is that when she contacted the owner of Poplar, she discovered that he couldn't close for at least 3 months. Were you aware of that?
Yeah, I really don't think that's the case. I think he preferred to close in a month or two, but if he got the right offer, he'd close more quickly. I was only trying to do my best for you. I showed you Cottonwood.
Yes, you did, but you didn't sell me Cottonwood. Patty did. She found out that the expansion and renovations I want to do will be no problem, and I also got a great price on the house.
But you had retained me as your buyer's agent. I can sue you for a commission.
Really, Fred? What about not having any expectation of compensation from me? I think those were your words.
Well, that was with the understanding that any property I showed you, you'd agree to purchase it through me.
Really? And when did we have that conversation, Fred? And when did you ever have me sign any agreement to that effect? Just for your info, that's exactly the type of agreement I signed with Patty, because she explained it to me carefully and completely. Give me a break, Fred. You have no basis to sue me, and I have every reason to file a complaint against you with the Board of Realtors if you continue to make such silly threats.
What? Good riddance.